doesn't normally play a duelist at all, normally sticks to the Omen and the Sage, opting to go for the Phoenix here that you were mentioning. So a couple of interesting role swaps, or at least agent swaps early on. We'll see how it plays out. Luminosity starting off on the defensive side. TSM looking to go aggressive, hot and heavy onto B. They're going to drop the Paranoia, dash their way in, and so far, nothing doing.
Yeah, it's definitely looking like it's going to be quite an effort to retake this site. Obviously, though, you're going to be thinking to, there'll be drills that teams will practice to prepare themselves for situations like this. So common to play that retake. So we'll see what they're able to do with this. Wardell ready and waiting there with that Frenzy. Frenzy's still very popular despite the price increase. And here they go, straight through. Your boy Dre trying to open up the action there. Jerome will be able to deal with him. And another one coming through as well. So TSM, it's all TSM in the kill feed at the moment. It's looking like a terrible start here for Luminosity.
They got the info that they wanted, but it'll be interesting to see how heavy they rotate off of that. They know they're not going to push their way up towards A anymore. You hear the door going down. You imagine they're going to start to rotate over to B, and that's exactly where you see Luminosity coming. But Sub Rose is the problem. He's the first one there. Took mid control, able to take care of Thief early on.
And that is going to be now a very difficult site to retake and hold, as we'll see TSM having their way with it. And it's not going to be really all that much left for Luminosity here. They managed to get a kill out of this round so far, and that's okay, I guess. And that is characteristic to them, but I would expect to see something slower here. We can see this initial A main control. It's pretty heavy pressure, and it is, as you say, the bonus, and they've decided to just go for it. And Tyrone is going to work this site to perfection. 3 entries, and just in a matter of like 5 seconds, the round's over, I feel like.
we teed that up so well, talking about pace and how LG was going to want to play it, and then TSM just decided that we're going to run it down LG's throats. They've got to run it back online from the chaos that just happened on A. They have full site control. Luminosity has no choice but to try to save and kind of roll their way into the next round. And remember, folks, this is TSM's bonus. They did that with Bulldogs.
Yeah, and that was actually one of those kind of mind game elements to the meta as well, because you could think to yourself, like in a matchmaking game or something, right? You're like, oh, you got the bonus situation, so you have worse weaponry than the opponent, so you want to try to control the situation. You want to just run it down. You want to get these close range engagements and use the numbers advantage to mitigate the fact that you've got worse guns. And however, at the pro level, there are mind games. Teams might have early round setups to deal with those rush timings. They have good protocols and defensive measures to deal with that.
But so far, not a commitment either way. He might have a chance at something here, though. Man, it just takes one. And that's why the players on Luminosity look so good, because of stuff like that.
Yeah, and that's really disruptive for sure. And that's actually something a kill in the kind of early rounds can really create problems for lesser experienced teams. But TSM, they are anything but that. They are going to be very experienced. They know now, okay, we'll have to regroup, take some map control here, and use those numbers advantage, take some position, and get onto a bomb site at this point. And you have to try to figure out how can you best deal with these spots where Luminosity are going to be very happy to play one and done positions. So there can be these kind of landmines around every single corner. So it is quite stressful. But again, the experience will really help. You can see that TSM now working on the split towards the A site, able to go through the tree position, and they'll be able to come onto an A site that's not super well defended here. With that said, Moose and your boy Dre able to make life rather difficult as the push continues to come through, and Moose has done so much damage, it leaves just Wardell in the clutch.
Wardell, no Blade Storm, but he does have a Vandal in his pocket in a 1v2. He's going to be able to get the spike down. He's going to back up, get the shot, needs to see one, looks for the second, lands one shot, dashes away, drops things down to a 1v1, but he's down to 30 health. He's going to have a chance, and Wardell goes huge for TSM as he gets 3.
And this is something that LG have to have taken into account. You can see they've got 2 players around tree. They can play a retake setup on A. They've got nobody on the A site. They are going to realize that Drone's going to make a play like this. Drone won't get too much value in terms of kills. He's created the space, and there comes the Hunter's Fury as well to support.
It's going to create even more space, and now you see members of TSM make their way onto the site. The space that was created by Drone has been acquired. Hayes getting the best of Thief early on. A couple clean shots. TSM in firm control of it.
Yeah, I like the play from Thief there, because if he gets the kill, he can dismiss away. That does make the retake a lot easier, and that's kind of fundamentally one of the elements, one of the aspects of why you would pick Arena. And it's going to be a 4v5 retake, though, and they do have a server coming in for the recons, and I'm not sure if there's any shock darts available, but we'll see if they can make something work here. Can be quite difficult to defend if you're all stuck on the site, and it is a site and A main, and one player CAD as well for TSM, so they are set up really well for this. As the retake comes through, TSM, indeed, the crossfires are working out.
Moves the last one alive with 58 health. Just gonna back off, not really gonna have a chance to do much of anything. Maybe, no, not even gonna be able to keep his life. Smokes off the back. They establish that presence in case there's a rotate, depending on where they want to play. But Sabrosa may have a chance at one. No, Stellar with the Ghost getting the best of them. That's gonna give mid control over to Luminosity.
Yeah, that's a little scary because that's some information. It's a gun collected as well. And you can see that there's a gamble stack coming in through towards the A site because they're already Luminosity droned out B main, so they have a good sense of what's happening here. They've already started to rotate. Jeez. There's a Proto with the Sheriff, and it's looking quite grim now. Long-range Hunter's Fury coming into play, and it is a shutdown here. Luminosity doing an excellent job, and that's the skill that you were talking about earlier in the broadcast, Doug. You give them an opportunity and they're going to be able to make good use of it. Luminosity here surviving with 4 players so far.
Well, and Dan, like you mentioned, they're doing this a round ahead of schedule, right? Like the plan was, let's do what we can here, and then we'll have guns the next round. We'll have 5 ultimates. We'll really be able to fight back. But
that was everything. So great to see the timings work out for Luminosity, and maybe they can turn this half around at this point. Great pick from Thief. There goes the push through Catwalk. The trade's fast from Sabrosa. But 4 versus 4 would always typically favor the attackers, but we'll see how it actually pans out here. The rotation back through to collect the spike and finish on the B site, but it's actually quite well defended. It's a retake play for A here. So once again, Luminosity appear to be ahead of the game, but they're going to be dealing with the lockdown here. Hayes looking to plant this lockdown in B main, so he's going to have to settle for that one. And we'll see whether or not LG can hold them off.
Wait a sec. Okay. So there's no Hunter's Fury to be able to clear out the lockdown. That's going to give TSM a good bit of room. Now, keep in mind, there is one player who's going to get caught up in Boathouse. Interesting thing is, you normally see this because it's bait, right? It's exactly what a Proto can do right there. They try to go in because they think they have control, but there's somebody in spawn who's able to mow them down on the cross. TSM's just down to 2 members left. Luminosity in at least a numbers advantage as they try to take this site back. Moose is still anchoring things down, and he's as healthy as they come.
Doesn't know about Cutler's position, but doesn't matter. He still finds the headshot on the reaction, and it's going to be Luminosity holding on, and that's a beautiful, beautiful round again.
It's going to be pushed back. TSM still showing some presence towards A. There's that paranoia. It looks like they might try to swing with it just enough to get some room and have Thief post up and run.
Nice trades coming through there, and there is actually some presence here on Catwalk. You can see that already Thief is feeling it. He's worried about it. Sabrosa's there. The push from Hayes and B main is not going to work out, and Luminosity looked like they were getting pinched, but again, they just understand what's going on, and they are expectant, and they deal with it beautifully well. Yeah, I'll be interested to see what TSM plan to do here. They do have some ultimates available, but look at Thief go. That's great stuff again from Catwalk. The aggression works out so often for Thief. He's so confident, and you can see exactly why he's been placed on that Reyna. He gets the opportunities to take those fights and back away if he needs to with the dismiss. Wardell actually decides to pull out the knives in the 3 versus 5, knowing that a buy is in store for them in the next round. They still want to make this one hurt, though, for Luminosity. And we'll have to see if Wardell can catch something. But look at the discipline here from Luminosity. They are not putting anything to chance once again, just holding their ground. They got a 5 versus 3. They don't have to do anything special.
This will be interesting. Yeah, there's that swing. Oh, well, you didn't even really have to because Thief is just playing out of his mind. He gets 4 that round. Stellar gets the last one. A flawless round from LG.
They do have the Hunter's Fury in play, so we'll see what they can do here. It is a change of pace here, an early mid play. And, oh, there we go. Thief, he wanted to switch things up, but he gets caught.
Color's going to use that Hunter Fury as well, and he's going to be good for 1 as Stellar drops. Drone dropping as well as Moose goes big. He goes for 2, give him the 3rd as he takes full control of the middle of the map and puts odds back in Luminosity's favor.
Oh no, it was looking so good initially for TSM, but it's all fallen apart.
It's all that's been done so far. Again, TSM trying to work the middle of the map. They've taken Catwalk. Looks like they're going to have some hot and heavy going around A. The run-it-backs are going to come through along with the flash, but nobody's home quite yet. The Empress is going to be used. I don't think. Oh! Okay, Drone didn't see him, but he got tagged up anyway. Thief was able to take him out, so they're going to have some of that information, but they're going to try to invest onto the A site anyway. Stellar's the first one there. He's going to take care of Sub Rosa as Thief continues to push the matter. Dre and Thief get one apiece. TSM down to 2.
Yeah, Thief still on that side, looking extremely dangerous. This guy
Unreal.
cannot be stopped. Obviously, they're going to feel that paranoia going through to the tree position. That will pull some rotation. We also have a push from Moose. They're in the dark cover, gaining some control of B main. Doesn't realize there's 2 players here, though. About to find out, and there goes the swing. Oh, that was close to a double. Fortunately for him, it will be denied, though, as we get a very forward position from Sub Rosa as well. What a great switch-up coming through from TSM. You have the lockdown as well coming, so that should secure the spike plant here. Luminosity must retake.
Sub Rosa's got to go big here because that's where that retake is going to be coming from. Thief able to take care of them. They're going to use the neural theft as well as the spike goes down. Now it's on LG in a 3v3 to try to create some space and try to get on there. But Wardell holding fast, takes care of Stellar, but a Pro comes in from the side. It's just down to Thief. Thief, who's been an absolute madman for Luminosity with the opportunity to do it yet again, and Hayes stops it dead in its tracks. A 3K for TSM.
Yeah, I think Luminosity, very resilient. They were struggling massively with gaining any ground and traction, and then they managed to find it off of a pistol. And so now they're looking really dangerous, really sharp, and we'll see if TSM can dull their blade as they look to try to get a good start off on this pistol with that B presence. Now they've been slowed a little bit here. It looks like they're going to still try to force the issue. It can reset out, but they're going for it. They are confident.
Yeah, man. Stellar's gotten pushed back pretty badly. Yeah, he was super weak. He's going to drop at the hands of Stellar. TSM going to be forced to try to get this retake. And the difference is here, TSM can't comfortably move in through the middle of the map because of where the rain is. So if they swing that way, there's the Thief is on the other side waiting to give them the business. That forces them to be pseudo one-dimensional in how they try to take this site back.
Yeah, it's funny. It's like TSM are going to be receiving the same medicine as they dealt out in the first pistol in this series. And here it comes. Luminosity able to defend quite nicely so far. Will at least deal with Thief, who's been a huge problem so far, but it's a 2 versus 4 for TSM. It's looking very scary indeed. Time is of the essence. There may, in fact, not really be any time at this point. It's just down to getting some additional kills, some money in the bag, and they're going to be able to do that. And you know what? Wardell, getting those kills is huge. You know, charging up the knives, making sure he's got more money to be able to put into an operator if that's what he wants to do, is going to be, well, and I love that Luminosity left Phoenix, you know, towards A main as well, because TSM will feel this delay and they'll be like, what, did they rotate off, or are they going to re-exec onto the A site? So it's actually quite likely that they would push that, but they don't in this instance. They're just stacking the A site. They were hoping that it would be a re-exec after the cutting of the noise from Luminosity, but Luminosity go for the B play. So this is just one of those spots where, you know, you have to take a gamble if you're TSM, and this time it didn't work out, and they're in this situation where they can play aggressively for these either exit kills, or they can just go for the retake and just try to just get some kind of damage.
Stellar going big there, and then a Proto and Thief are really able to continue to push the matter towards TSM as they're down to 2 members left. Again, it was the middle of the map. Stellar was late on the rotation intentionally. He created some more noise, made TSM.
They didn't say that, but enough about that. We'll hold that spot for now as the push comes through pretty aggressively here from Luminosity straight away into the B site. They are not wasting any time, pushing straight forward off of the run it back, creating so much space. Color back against the wall. Not much in this position to do, and he'll get at least one. The spike will be planted there. 2 versus 3 here for TSM on this retake, though will be difficult.
And remember, Luminosity is on the bonus, right? They had nothing but Sheriffs and Spectres going into this round. Meanwhile, TSM had full arsenal, down to 2 members left. One of the more devastating players with an operator in his hands just goes a bit wide the first time as TSM continue to try to take the site. Wardell just down to 61 health left. And Luminosity, they're holed in there. Dan, you almost wonder if you're TSM, if you just try to play for exits and ruin it.
Yeah, definitely leave that operator as well. There's always the element that Wood, I guess, one, can he get the second? Then they can go, and that's what we're talking about. Opportunity is there for TSM, just a brief one, but Wardell getting traded, that's what really created a situation here that made this unrecoverable. And Hayes can't escape, but that's the difficulty here. You can see Wardell up on the rafters here, looking to do the damage, try to get rid of that flash there as he goes for the peak. Oh, the knives come out, not landing. But there we go. Hayes onto the site, both jumping down now to try to get something to happen, but looking a little bit desperate at this point.
And Luminosity have to be careful, make sure this doesn't get out of hand. So far, looking so good. TSM down to 2 members left. Is Luminosity in firm control? They have the spike down. They have control of the site. They have gun advantage as well. But of course, it's in moments like these that insane plays happen like that. Like we almost saw. But Luminosity put them away. A 4-round lead.
The Hunter's Fury, just because the Phoenix ult can sometimes just win you rounds, but it will guarantee gain you some space or the opportunity to get that space. So it creates a reaction. And Gelato take coming through here. There's the paranoia. The dash not working out for TSM. Oof. They're still committed to it though. Leaving players in Wine as well as the A main position. This is scary territory for TSM now.
Dude, they read that like a book, right? They had the setup there, and you can tell that Luminosity was gonna try to go for that ult orb. They try to counter it. It goes sideways. Stellar gets his hands on the run it back anyway, but Sabrosa's in a spot where he can blow the play up if left unchecked. Stellar's run it back expires, and again, now here's Sabrosa on that flank. If this goes unchecked, could be problematic. You see members of Luminosity all starting to rotate over towards A. It looks like that's where they're going to want to go. Meanwhile, TSM, nobody on this site, but Sabrosa's going to get all the information that he could want.
Oh, this is so scary. This is all on this play here from Wine. This has to be... This is it. Sabrosa has to get a couple kills at least here. There's one. Is he going to find the others? He does at least just barely get Stellar as well. And on top of that, it has slowed the push a little bit. So still having to take some time here, Luminosity, to clear the site. TSM have some opportunity here, some time, but a Proto with a very forward position tree is causing problems, but nothing that Hayes can't handle. As the lockdown's ready to go for the retake in this 3v2, TSM, they could finally be taking a grip of this one.
Numbers advantage, and you see Luminosity have no choice but to really back up. They're going to take Hayes out for their troubles as they try to reset the situation. Lockdown no longer a problem. Cutler starts on the defuse, can't blast through it because the generator's there. He has to go in aggressive. Drone takes care of one, Drone takes care of the second. TSM take the round.
Just as TSM did to Luminosity, you can use this to pull rotation of the defenders to the A site, and you can hit up that B site instead, or that mid control. But look at that, Beast going forward through A, trying to creep towards that site, knowing that more presence would be around tree. It's taken down. There's another kill going the way of TSM, retaking the tree position. Maybe it seems like at this point, Luminosity well overstayed their welcome in that tree area, and now they have to go for a desperation rotation, and B really is the only option at this point.
Well, and the thing is, Dan, it was never an option, right? Like, even with all of the noise, we talked about them trying to draw rotations to A. TSM held fast. They kept both members on B. They have one back in Boathouse. Now we'll see if they can keep things at bay. Hayes is one of the ones there. Drones are as well. Fancy footwork around the paranoia. Sabrosa takes care of one. Drone back in Boathouse looking for a second, but it's actually Hayes on the sucker punch that takes care of a Proto. TSM so disciplined.
And you can see that TSM are happy to give up the B site. They understand that this is a likely position for a rush, and they would be right to think that.
Gray gonna work his way into the back. Here the run it back has been used. Cutler able to take care of Stellar. Numbers advantage over towards TSM. They also have the Hunter's Fury in mind as they try to retake B. They've got all the personnel they could want. We'll see how they handle the sheriffs, and right, and like how brutal Luminosity can be with pistols because of things like that.
Yeah, you need the Hunter's Fury to get rid of a Proto, man. That guy is ridiculous. He is so insane. And that one Deagle shot, or sorry, Sheriff shot, I should say, is going to cause so many problems here. There comes the push straight in, and just 1, 2, 3, and 4, just like that. You know, you can't do much about it. And we've got an interesting play here from TSM because they got Wardell looking down from cat to top mid, and now he's looking towards tiles as well. So some good info there as far as TSM are concerned. Still somewhat of a retake setup here with a very committed play from Drone. The flash goes through, just one frag though. TSM are looking not too bad after that extra one from Hayes, and his turret's going to pick up one as well. So TSM, they could stop this.
My gosh, they stuffed it. man. Like, the flash was there. It was beautiful. Hazed had a great crossfire. Luminosity still tried. They still try, right? They get in. Moose gets the spike down, but he's a dead man walking. A 4K for Hazed. They sniffed it out. Dan, they had a perfect read on where the play was, and they just blew it up. Trying to take some tree control. Hey, lobby control, your boy Dre. There's the paranoia. You imagine that's going to be the cue to follow up, but Wardell does it through the paranoia as he takes care of Stellar. Moose going to use 100 Fury to try to create some more space, but you see, even with that in mind, now they're getting onto the site. They should have control of A. They should be able to get the spike down, and it's going to be on TSM to fight for the retake.
Yeah, and you know, talking of big picks, that's a Phoenix going to run it back, ready to go out of the action there, thanks to that kill from Wardell. And you can see that TSM are focusing on getting those picks and then giving up the site and playing retake. That's really where it's been coming, and it's because of stuff like this lockdown that's available. Now, this 1v1 is huge. Omen versus Omen, Omen diff moment. We'll see exactly how that goes in a moment here, as we'll see the lockdown actually getting destroyed. That's unfortunate.
Dre goes big. He was never caught in the smoke. He's able to get one, and that's going to pull members of TSM back to have to deal with him. You can't ignore him. He gets another one. Your boy Dre goes huge. He gets 3. Luminosity gets map point. There's no attention over towards Tree. No attention towards A. Everything is being invested towards B. You hear the run it back. Has been used. Wardell doesn't even get a chance as TSM's just down to 3 members left. There's the run it back. It goes offline. The third is going to use the neural theft to try to give everything away. Hayes drops. 2 left for TSM as the Proto should get the spike down.
Spike planted.
Sabrosa here. Oh, he's going to get eliminated, leaving just Carla. Every single shot. Look at this, the skill differential in just this round and some of the other rounds too is just incredible to witness. Luminosity, I don't know, man, what they've been doing before this game. It's working. They are hitting their shots. And so, yeah, that's a very roundabout way to say I don't think you have to have any particular composition so long as you know what you're doing.
Very eloquently put. Nonetheless, we'll see here with the Sage if that proves to be the difference maker for Luminosity. Again, they're going to start on the attacking side. They have a 1-0 lead over TSM, and it looks like this pistol is going to be a slow one. Moose going to use the drone towards B long. Maybe, you know, draw a little bit of attention, a little ruckus. But again, TSM, much like we saw in Ascent, given the eye candy, given what's put in front of them, they stay home.
Yeah, and the drone there to be long is actually, there's a lot of good reasons for doing that. We'll go into that more maybe if we get a moment later, as we do have the push coming through from Luminosity. The full A send it is coming, and you can see that the bomb site's been largely evacuated. There's that wall that's going to be, of course, so important in controlling space and giving some breathing room for this spike to be planted, which it will be. And here is this post-plant setup all ready to go here for Luminosity. So it's all going according to plan. It's now just about executing the defense. We can see Sabrosa's working on the flank for TSM as well.
Yes, there is going to be that turret there. Should spot him out, and it's going to pull some of it back. The LG playing far more up than we usually see attacking teams on a post plan here. TSM seem to be taking care of it just fine. Wardell dashes back just down to 13 health. Moose is there. The turret's gone. Sabrosa's on the pinch. Luminosity could be in trouble here, but it's just Sabrosa that's left. In a 1v3, certainly a winnable one as he gets his way onto 1, but he's going to get sucker punched by Moose as he drops. Luminosity take the pistol.
Luminosity, again, I don't think they care about that at this point. Look how, like, they're going to be able to set up here and just play, you know, back after they get the spike planted. They can play behind obviously the wall will create a lot of extra fortification for them too, and they're looking good.
Thief. Yep. Thief on the side takes care of 1. Wardell trades him out. But Luminosity have gotten onto the site. They have a great wall up. The spike is down as well, and now they can assume their post plants. And unlike last round, and although it worked out just fine, Proto's still holding down the middle of the map. No shenanigans from Sabrosa or anyone else playing across the flank. Luminosity look good here in their post plants.
Yeah, they really do. And this is, again, like one of the reasons why it can be an attacker-sided scenario, because you can have a lot of fights by design, and you can see that you can get a couple kills in front here, but the firepower, the utility advantage for Luminosity is going to secure this one. And
yeah, especially with how much space they're probably about to take away. You see Thief with the Bucky. That often means fireworks are likely to ensue. Wardell going in aggressive. It's actually Ray with the Spectre who gets 1. The gun's going to get upgraded. No Bucky frags, which I'm personally a bit upset about, but that's all right. Luminosity get onto the site. Thief goes in aggressive. Haze takes care of him. The Luminosity in a decent spot where they should be able to get the spike down.
Got those anti-spike plant shock darts coming through. Really well played from Haze. He actually slowed down the effort of the spike plant quite dramatically. And there comes the paint shells. That's going to take down Stella, planting the spike. So TSM doing a really good job in slowing it down and trying to create a situation where the fight is on their terms. They go for the retake. The paranoia creates an opportunity to gain some extra position onto the site here, looking for that retake to really start to come out to fruition. A Proto, of course, with the Sheriff causing problems, but now down to your boy Dre with the Spectre and the Spike defuse. The pressure's coming in, and the spray is there on the dark cover. He's 8 bullets left. All the bullets are gone. Just out of time is your boy Dre. It was a good effort. And Luminosity will switch things up here in the next round. Oh, this is very scary.
It is. Thief was the tip of the spear using the bot, create some space, and then after a couple of moments pass, he's the first one to get the kill. Cutler from a great spot, though, with the Guardian. 1, 2, 2 bullets, 2 kills as he continues to look for more. He's going to get paranoia there, though he has to back up. Great use of the dart to try to give him a bit of visibility, but he's going to drop. A Proto takes care of Wardell as well. It's going to drop into a 1v1 Killjoy on Killjoy. A Proto versus Hazed, as a Proto sticks around B. Haze at this point, Dan, I think Haze just kind of has to wait, really, right? Like, see where the spikes goes down and then make a play.
Yes, it's definitely about gambling here because there's so much time on the clock and there's not enough information to know precisely what a Proto is doing that, you know, you play the gamble here. And unfortunately, the gamble is not going to work out here for Hazed. You'll have to run all the way around. And this is a problem because there's so much time here for post-plant positioning. This is a very, very tricky position for Haze. Definitely at a huge disadvantage. A Proto could be absolutely anywhere. Has the turret to play off of as well. Oh boy. So Haze has to hit an incredible reaction shot. Oh my god! And so those will basically cancel each other out. Luminosity can't really go all the way unless they decide to do this and destroy it with the Hunter's Fury. So that's a lot of investment there. And there goes also the showstopper, Luminosity exacting into the site. And it's going to be retake territory here for TSM.
And for Luminosity there, it's essentially like a second lockdown, and that you have to respect it, and that you have to back up and give up that space to the showstopper. Luminosity follow right behind it. They get onto the site, they get the spike down, and now TSM has to retake. They have a showstopper of their own, and from the shadows, looking to see how they get back into this thing. How do they retake the site? They have full personnel as well. There's the showstopper. Haze goes in first, takes care of Stellar. Nothing connecting on it, but Drone with the rifle gets one. Gets the second one as a Proto's gonna get caught. He drops as well. Luminosity, the round falls apart as it's just down to Moose. He's in a great spot, but he's insanely outnumbered. Gets one, Drone's gonna get the defuse. TSM take the lead.
Yep. Having that Hunter's Fury is huge in denying plants. Spike.
Oh man, that feels bad. If you're Thief. Sabrosa getting the shot through the smoke. A Proto in a great spot here too. We mentioned on the last map, Luminosity with Sheriffs in hand, and just how really debilitating they can be for anyone on the receiving end. We'll see what magic Luminosity have up their sleeves as Wardell's thinking he's safe, just holding down the middle, not wise to the fact that a Proto could be untying his shoes right now and he wouldn't know it.
Yeah, it's a very good way of putting it. And indeed, oh my god, Proto could have done so much, but Wardell, he is going to ruin his day. Oh, that is beautiful. But still, Luminosity find ways to cause problems. And speaking of the From the Shadows, it's going to come to fruition, but has to be cancelled. Now, this is quite a scary situation because TSM were behind on the rotations, but now they have the rotation timing. The res coming in, though, could make the difference. As we'll see, that slow progression up B long now. They still have to, they have to pop spike. Time is the problem, and Hunter's Fury could deny this. There it is. They're trying to deny the plant. Oh, this is so scary right now. There's 13 seconds to go for the spike plant. It's going to come through. It's like Luminosity is safe after all.
I mean, the Hunter's Fury, the satchel, like the blast, everything was being thrown his way. Manages to dance around it, and as you said, manages to get the spike down as well. TSM outnumbered here as they try to retake the site. Thief drops. Cutler with the Vandal takes care of him slowly, but surely tipping a bit more in TSM's favor. But the work is far from done as they still have 3 members and the clock to work against here. if you're TSM, and at this point, it just looks like they're going to punt.
Yeah, definitely trying to keep hold of that operator and keep that economy in shape. Oof. And again, it's worth reminding everybody this is for a qualification spot to Masters. So there's a lot on the line with this series, and I think both of these teams are so good, and they're going to go and use that wall to create a safe passage through to that east site, and it's going to be quite difficult here for TSM, but they do have players in position. They got crossfires actually. So Luminosity, despite having some position, they have a lot to deal with still.
The position's great, but it's telegraphed, right? Like, once that wall went up, you saw members of TSM start to rotate. Just hazed on A as everyone else has made their way over to B, but Luminosity so far seem to be handling it just fine as Dre and Stellar get one apiece. Stellar's going to get the spike down as well. It's just down to one remaining player for TSM. And, well, he's not going to be around for long. A flawless round for Luminosity as they take a 1 round.
Love the delay here as well coming through. Just really changing the pace, trying to see if TSM will act on paces of past rounds, and maybe you can catch an info play. That's what Thief is looking to do. Spots one by Yellow. So right now, it's very confusing here. This is really feeling very much like it could be A or B at this point for TSM. You can see Wardell rotating to B. So there seems to be more of an argument for this B play with that yellow pressure from B long. And at the same time, the hit comes through to the A site. So there's problems all over the place here. Luminosity, though, are finding the entry to Spike is now down on the ground. It's got to be collected and planted properly because there's only 10 seconds left for a plant. And it's down to Moose. He's got to get it done by himself. And he's going to take down Wardell. 7 seconds left. He's got to get on the plant immediately. Cutler's playing the time. He'll get the frag, but there's the trade in the nick of time. And so far, you know, it's looking like TSM could be on track for that. They are looking to fight here for B-Long once again. I like that they are not giving this for free. I think that would be a mistake, and it's going to pan out here very nicely. I mean, there's at least 1 kill. Still Sabrosa in a forward position, down to 7 HP. Still has some assistance here from Drone. The pressure is still on. At the same time, TSM have forward presence on the A site, so they have a good sense of what's happening, but there is a flank coming through. Kitchen also at the same time. This is so scary. Sabrosa eventually goes down, but a Proto, he could be the X factor for Luminosity in this round.
Dude, a Proto's gonna blow it up. Man, he's got him pinched in. Drone's a sitting duck here. He's alone. Yeah, he has the showstopper, but he's gonna have to go absolutely nuts to pull this thing off. You see them start to get closer and closer, freaking suffocating like a python around its prey. Drone there, Drone 1, Drone 2. He's already got 3 on the round, looking for the 3rd, spots him, pushes him back. TSM starting to rotate. They're starting to get their members over while Drone continues to buy time. Luminosity, the spike is down, and it's alone. Proto wins the duel. He's got to get the spike, but he's going to walk potentially right into the lap of a member of TSM. They're going to be pushing it from different fronts. Wardell's going to get pushed back. Proto has to go. He has to go now. He's going to try to get the spike down. Meanwhile, Hayes on the flank, right in the back, takes care of him. What a round by TSM.
I think this is a great read from TSM. We'll go into that in a moment, but because I think they anticipated that they would try to get that Luminosity would try to isolate the B-Long players, and then they could go through mid here. But look how ready TSM are for this. They knew this was coming. Yep. 2 quick kills from Sabrosa completely stifles the efforts up mid, and now it's down to the B-Long players to gain ground without that split possibility. It's a reset out from that mid spot for Luminosity.
30 seconds left.
And now it's down to, you know, Thief here on the raise. He has a showstopper, so there is some potential to get some damage in with it, but you might want to save it from this position. Such a hard call. There comes the TP as well to help out by the yellow position for the post plant, but here comes the shock darts to deny that plant, and they might run out of time here. Plant comes through, has to come off of it again. Yeah. Moose is in so much trouble as he repositions, and now that's it. There's no more time.
Yeah, the round went sideways. It was Cutler, really, who was backed by Snowman, who I would have to agree with you wholeheartedly. There's the ping. They know exactly where that lockdown is. The Hunter Fury is going to see the counter from Moose as he tries to take care of Cutler, and he does just that. Yeah, the lockdown went down, but so did Cutler, as Luminosity have the numbers advantage. Wardell's shot goes just a bit wide, and now there's going to be a counter lockdown. No Hunter's Fury to cause shenanigans this time around.
This is looking a little bit scary now for Luminosity because they can't really make good of the utility they invest in, and that's not going to result in Proto dying, but it is kind of annoying because he wants to kind of he wants to connect with the timing with his teammates, and so it does slow things down a little bit. The wall comes through in mid. It is a fake. They're going to go back towards the A site. Sabrosa cancels the TP because he uses the TP for info because they have to be either pushing B long right now when he TP or they're going A. Now TSM know precise what's happening. It's just hitting the shot, and there are some shots from Sabrosa knocking them down, and it's looking fantastic here for TSM. The winds indeed have shifted, and their ship is sailing. Slow and steady. You see TSM really, they want to play the retake here. They're trying to make sure that nobody goes down before that. A Proto in kitchen again is causing problems with his utility. This can be very, very problematic. Oh no, a Proto caught in the side, not expecting Sabrosa up the tube. And that's now TSM in a great position for this retake. 5 versus 4. There is a res available. Of course, you know, Proto is not within a resable. Oh, hello. He's playing behind the wall. That was not expected, and that could make the difference here.
Can Luminosity down to 2 members left, but TSM's 2 members that remain are certainly very weak. Make this a 1v1.5 as it drops down to a 1v1, and Moose goes nuts. He gets 3, wins the round for Luminosity as they tie up 6 at half. Another half to go, and while the score is 6-6, we might as well be starting at zeros across the board as we are, again, just 1 half away from determining if we're going to go play on bind or if Luminosity is going to punch their ticket to Masters. Doug, Dan on the mic, TSM on the attack. Let's see what they can do.
Sitting in the dark smoke, they're just like huddling around the fire. TSM roasting some marshmallows, but it's enough of that. Now they start to move towards the A side here, trying to explode onto your boy Dre. Paranoia is pretty good, not finding the connections he wanted immediately. It's a little bit messy, but a Proto is just cleaning it up quite nicely, putting on a clinic with that classic. And the spike will go down on the A side. So TSM 2 versus 4 here. It's going to be tough, but it's a pistol. The ghosts are out, and the ghosts truly are out. And Proto is going to just delete Cutler, and there's not much left there. Poor timings for TSM, and that's... And it's I like this from Luminosity. You know, that they are somewhat active in mid here. They're not being overly passive. They're playing retake on B with the Killjoy utility, and they're more worried about losing A. It's gonna be harder to defend that, or sorry, to retake that compared with B as far as they're concerned in this round. So that's why they've managed. They've set it up in this way. The wall there as well is really just crushing any potential.
Right, with lighter weapons, they have Spectres and maybe a pistol. Oftentimes, you want to see teams with the less than ideal weaponry to play around smoke. What you're doing is you're eliminating the distance, right? The gap, the advantage that the rifle should have. That's why you try to play up tight. That's why you see players like what Moose is doing right now. He's taking space away, trying to bridge the gap between him and a rifle. Now, Sabrosa is obviously pretty wise to it. And he's got a good bit of distance. He's backing off as well. You even see every single member of TSM look at them on the cross. They all check the middle of the map to ensure nothing funny is happening.
Yeah, and this, as you say, the timing from Moose is really excellent too, because he's going to hear the steps. He's going to hear the rotation towards A. We can see on the mini-map that a Proto is just booking it to the A side. They know that it's going to be A at this point, thanks to Moose's positioning. And if he wants, he has a faster flank timing. We'll see TSM have a turret to deal with that, but ultimately it's about the info for Luminosity, and now they just have to hit the shots, and this is going to be tough. It's all going to be down to hitting their utility nicely. There goes the Paranoia, and there goes the first. The Paranoia was actually going to land on Wardell, so they've actually managed to find a way in. There goes a nice follow-up with the shock dart from Moose. He's got position at the back side, and he's going to be able to take down Hayes, leaving it all down to Cutler. Beautiful from Moose. I don't even understand how he got so much done by himself there. Very well played. And so if Luminosity are going to be throwing in little, you know, cheeky positional plays like that, it might be difficult for TSM to gain some traction here. As you say, it is just these sheriffs to begin with on this round, and TSM not expecting necessarily to win the round, but to get some damage, get a spy plant would be pretty nice. Stella asking some questions here up by the rafters. We'll spot one dropping by. They've got information of the push coming in now. The rotation is in as well for Luminosity for this defense. And there doesn't seem to be a way to breach the front lines here for TSM. They have to force the issue. It's going to be very difficult, though. But Wardell with a shuffle right and shuffle left takes down your boy Dre. Knives come out, and maybe, Doug, that's the start of something here.
Yeah, that's certainly might be what's needed to break the ice. Is TSM, they still haven't gotten the spike down, but you've got to be careful for a Proto on the flank. TSM full sense because they don't have the weaponry. They have to commit to the site. They do just that. Wardell gets another one, but there's nobody watching the flank. A Proto gets one, a Proto gets two. Moose gets in on it as well. And TSM, again, they're pinched. Man, they're like sitting ducks in there. They don't have any room to work with. Sabrosa with the Sheriff. Not good for any. A Proto gets 3. TSM 6-10.
Make it good here and just turn the tide here. So we'll see if they can do that. Wardell on the operator. They have everything that they could possibly want.
Okay.
And there you go. Starts off nicely, taking down Stella towards that B-long position. Oh, Thief coming out with a rocket, and there is a dash away. Wardell, he's doing so much for the team at the moment. And Drone with a follow-up onto your boy Dre. So after all is said and done, the dust settles the 3v2 in favor of TSM. Even also you have the lockdown available, but the Hunter's Fury is there in the hands of Cutler for TSM as well. Oh, look at the A site. It's completely clear as well.
Yep. And you see him start to check it, right? Like Sabrosa can stick it, knowing that it's been cleared out by Hayes. Luminosity, they're going to have to hightail it, but you've got to be careful. Cutler on the flank. He might be the one to blow it up. Luminosity pushing in from different fronts. See a Proto's going to go across the middle of the map. That's a big pick early on to take care of Sabrosa, but if he doesn't check, yep, that right there. He's going to get taken out. Hayes goes big there. The rotation was very well played by TSM. They get onto A for free. For what Hayes could be doing, for what TSM could be doing, he kind of has to stay.
We get the fake, Doug. We get the fake, and it was a B stack actually initially for LG, but the fake's coming through. And are they going to buy this? They're still holding 2 players on the B site. This is kind of crazy. If Heath can get some value out of his position, Luminosity might cause huge problems for TSM.
And in a similar vein, Hayes could be problematic if left unchecked. But so far, the fight's going down on the side, and Wardell is answering the call as he's already gotten 2. The Hunter Fury's going to come out from Cutler with 28 health left. Tries to tag members of Luminosity. Does take out Stellar. LG just down to 2. A Proto on the flank. Up close to personal gets 2. Looking for the third with the classic, and he gets it, baby! Luminosity take the round away from TSM. What a round!
It's got to be now. And Sabrosa finds a timing up the tube. This has been a spot that has been given. And finally, TSM are able to find a way to exploit. And it's going to get caught, though. But with that frag from Wardell, there's definitely room to play with.
Oh, Wardell drops. The spike follows with it. Luminosity looking to push the matter to get to map point. But Sabrosa has other thoughts. He takes care of one. He drops. And Cutler left alone. He's not around for long. Luminosity get to match point.
It really is. It's one of those things that completely just deflates the team. We'll have to see if they can find something. If there's anything left in the tank here, but Luminosity looking really good. Great opener there from Wardell, though, with the Guardian able to tap down Stella, which is always going to be good, getting rid of Sage early on in the rounds. And in the meantime, TSM work their way up onto the A side. Obviously, this is where all the Killjoy utility is, so it is a little bit annoying because that will create some delay. A Proto from the back, from the rafters. The trade's good. And we'll see some space gained here, but again, it's so hard against Luminosity. They're always going to be good for the frags. Your boy Dre locks it in. Luminosity able to take down TSM, forcing them down to the lower bracket where they will meet 100 Thieves for another shake at a position in the Masters tournament. But for now, we can crown Luminosity the winner of this series.